welcome back to Always Watching. Today we are talking about The Idol on HBO. So I'm going to record a YouTube podcast, and if things get better, then I'll start shooting video reviews. I'm just not sure how committed I am yet. You know, like some of the best shows have the worst pilots, and some of the worst shows have had the best pilots. So I'm just kind of hedging my bets. Let me know if you are enjoying this. So there was a lot of controversy leading up to this series, a lot of changes, and it was felt in this first episode. However, it wasn't nearly as graphic or pornographic as people made it out to seem, especially if you watched Euphoria. Then again, it's hard to judge something based on one episode, to be honest. I need to make it up at least 4 episodes before I can make, a real judgment call. The biggest thing that I did notice is that this series could have greatly benefited from a great score. I mean, the music was giving YouTube free library. There was a lot of scenes that could have been greatly enhanced by a great soundtrack or a great score. And I'm looking at The Weeknd for that. I'm like, that was your job, sir. So I was just like, are we really jamming to Like a Prayer? And if you watch that scene, they just looked so like they were laughing, like as if we're dancing to this. So that was the biggest kind of flaw, I think, that I've seen so far. But I'll start with what I liked. Surprisingly, I do think Lily Rose Depp works as Jocelyn. And I think she's doing a very good job of giving a nuanced performance. I honestly thought she might be cringy or hard to watch. But no, again, I kind of find myself wondering where this is going. And I did buy her as this pop star struggling to keep it together. That's the vibe she gives. And that first scene, when she's giving all those face changes, I said, okay, like, you can act, I was convinced. And the way that they kind of build Jocelyn's character, and I think her acting helps with that, is it kind of makes sense why she would fall for this random stranger that she met in a club, is because she feels suffocated, right? She feels tired. She's looking for a way out, and she's kind of missing a lot of red flags, right? Like, no one really cares about her as a person. All they care about is that she doesn't have another breakdown, and she can make them money, and she can, sell tickets. And so they kind of make her feel very comfortable doing things that, they kind of know is making her feel, not making her feel the best. And her team consists of leeches or people trying to live vicariously through her. And I actually do think the actors who play her entourage are doing a very good job. Hank Azaria is excellent. Each person, I can kind of distinguish between them, and they all have a different function, right? And I'm 90% sure this best friend is in love with her. So I think the acting works. And on top of, so Jocelyn's biggest struggle is that she's reeling from her mother's death, and she has this pressure, right? She's kind of been written off, and so she really needs to make it big. And now she has this added burden of this photo scandal. And at this point, she's becoming more famous for being famous than for her music, right? And so this is a problem, but her team doesn't really care, right? There's a scene where she's practicing her choreography, and she knows that something is off because they keep looking at her and pointing to her. And it's almost like they were observing some wild animal. They're like, look, she looks happy. She's in her environment, right? But they don't actually care whether or not she's okay, whether or not, where this is going to go. So that's the struggle that Jocelyn has, is she needs to find a way to be a pop star at least. Because if this song bombs, then, the internet will never let her live it down. In terms of The Weeknd, I'm sorry guys, I'm just gonna call him The Weeknd for now. Please don't roast me, because I don't know, Tetris, I want to call him Tetris, whatever, Rat Tail. Okay, I'll call him Rat Tail. I find The Weeknd fascinating, So I'm not sure if it's his character that's intriguing. Like, I do like looking at him. I do really love, The Weeknd. So I don't know, seeing him on screen, I'm like, I'll keep watching. And he is just basically this charlatan. He I just thought it was funny that he was giving her advice on music and giving her advice on like, oh, Donna Summer, Prince, like, and she's like, yeah, I'll just be another Prince. I said, sir, you could have come up with the score. Like, that's the thing. Sam Levinson actually did his job when it comes to the aesthetics of the show. It is a well shot show. It has his signature written all over it, but music ain't his department. And also, this is not his show. He came in later. So I'm just looking at The Weeknd like, yo, you given a lot of advice for a man that, is responsible for Like a Prayer in that club. Like, I was just kind of shook when I saw that. I said, The Weeknd knows better. I'm gonna pin that solely on him and not on Sam. And so this meeting between Jocelyn and The Weeknd is so far from fireworks. And I'm not sure if it's because the score was just really cringy and weird, or if it's because they're not supposed to have fireworks, right? Like, maybe the chemistry there is supposed to be predator and prey, because that's what it was giving, And I'm not sure. Maybe they were hoping with the editing they could kind of fix it, but you could tell like the Like a Prayer just kind of ruined everything. Like, I just thought that was so funny. And the other sort of scene that should have been really the thing the show I think could have done well is keeping us engaged. So when when Rat Tail and Jocelyn meet up at her place, again, there's so many shots where it's really nice, right? Like, he comes through like a vampire, right? That should have been one hell of an entrance. He greets the assistant like she's a close friend. And the whole scene of him making himself at home, changing the pillows, like just chilling there. And the assistant is just standing in the corner, absolutely terrified. Like, I was just laughing. I'm like, yo, is this supposed to be funny? And I don't think, in terms of Rat Tail or The Weeknd's character, sorry guys, I don't think he's trying to be creepy. Actually, I think Jocelyn just doesn't see that he's a creep because everybody else does, right? Her assistant was like, yeah, he's giving like assault vibes. Like, he's obviously unstable. Like, you don't know this man from anywhere and you're bringing him into this house. And again, I think she's so desperate for some fresh air, right? And that's what that last scene kind of symbolizes, right? She needs a breath of fresh air, and this raggedy man is going to be that breath of fresh air. And that whole mirror scene when he was like, hello, angel, like, you talking to me, like, taxi driver. I said, sir, anyone who ever greets you, hello, angel, does not have your best interest at heart. I don't know who needs to hear that, but yeah, I was like, that is just giving predator. He is like, I got one shot, and this is it. He hit the jackpot. And he's so comfortable around her. He doesn't treat her, like a celebrity. He doesn't treat her like, oh my God, you're so beautiful. And I think that's what she likes about him, right? He's speaking to her like an equal, like he has something to offer her. Whether or not he does is questionable. So they spend the whole night drinking and chilling, and she goes as far as to show him this new song, which, again, The Weeknd, like, this is you. Like, the song wasn't terrible, but I just think given the magnitude, I expect better music. I'm sorry to say. And so he's giving advice about, once again, giving his 2 cents. I said, sir, where was your 2 cents when they were coming up with the score? But anyways, so Jocelyn is into some stuff. I think she has an addiction, like it might be a sex addiction. I'm not sure, because there's a few scenes where it's kind of alluded that she's been sleeping with a lot of people. That's one of the ways this photo got out. There's another scene where she's seen choking herself and, pleasuring herself. And now this last scene, and I think Rat Tail kind of sees that there's something in her, and he's kind of taking advantage of it. Like, I think he's a predator and he's able to spot something in her that maybe everybody else sees, but they kind of ignore. And that whole like, now you can sing, I was like, sir, again, I think if anybody else was playing the part, it would have been a cringy last line. But what I interpreted in that last scene is that she needed a breath of fresh air. And for better or worse, this guy is going to come in like a hurricane. Whether he's going to make her situation better or worse, we'll see. Like she's trying to make everybody happy. She wants to perform, but she doesn't want to be made fun of. She also wants to enjoy what she does, but no one takes her seriously. And I do think that Lily Rose Depp's performance, it did give enough nuance where I can kind of feel and see her frustrations. In terms of The Weeknd's Raggedy Behind, he had one job. That soundtrack was not soundtracking. But again, I have to see more. So you guys let me know what you think, and until next time.